First associate the name Hemingway with the author and journalist, but Ernest Hemingway's granddaughter has certainly made her own way in film in the world of holistic living.
Those things will bring Mariel Hemingway to Omaha this month. In fact, there are two events surrounding her. The first, October 7th at Film Streams.
And that's where Brooke Masek is from. Julia Hebenstreit joins us as well, the Kim Foundation.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here. Good morning,
yeah.
Brooke.
Julia, how does your organization bridge the gap when we're talking about mental health services here?
Yes, and we're actually not a service provider. We are a family foundation that focuses on mental health. So we serve as an advocate. We connect folks, families and individuals with resources here in the community and really work to build awareness and fight some of the stigma that surrounds mental health.
So a lot of stuff in the news, it seems like lately, mental health, and I'm thinking about the White House intruder. It's one example that continues to evolve. What do you want us to learn when we see that in the news? Where do you want that awareness to be?
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's very important to get the message out and to fight the stigma. I think the stigma is a result of people not understanding what mental illness is, how many people are impacted by it. They say that 1 in 4 Americans each year are directly impacted by mental illness. So a lot of people have the mindset that will never happen to me or a loved one, but the truth is it likely will. So be more accepting, you know, gain some knowledge around that and just be an advocate for someone that needs that, because at some point in our lives, each of us are probably going to need that.
How do you do that? Let me ask you this for our viewers who are in that position right now, and they don't want the person they're concerned about to be embarrassed or to feel shame, but they want to connect them with resources. What's the best way to start the conversation?
Sure, and it's a very difficult conversation to have, don't get me wrong, but it's an important one to have, and so just let them know that you are there and that you'll be there throughout the process. You know, oftentimes people think with suicide or mental illness, if they start the conversation, they're going to put that idea in someone's head, and that's been proven to be a myth, certainly, and so they probably will appreciate the outlet and the opportunity to speak about it. So just, you know, if you have resources too, especially if they're not to the point where they're willing to accept the fact that maybe they are, you know, they haven't been diagnosed yet but are experiencing challenges and haven't made that step yet, have some resources available, go to them to that first appointment if they need to, and just, you know, continue to be there for them.
I can imagine how that'd be a tough conversation. But back to your earlier point, you were talking about the awareness and the education component to this, and I guess this is where Mental Health Awareness Week fits in. It's approaching. What do you guys have planned for that?
Sure. I'll let Brooke talk a little bit about, for the week itself, we are doing a partnership with Film Streams and having Mariel Hemingway's documentary Running from Crazy, and that'll be Tuesday evening. Brooke, you want to talk a little bit?
What's it about, Brooke?
Well, it's about Mariel Hemingway's, you know, her voyage with mental health and her family, generational impact of mental health. We have at 7 p.m. on October 7th at Film Streams. And we'll watch the film, and afterward we have a panel discussion with three figures in the field who will be there to take questions from the audience and to have a great dialogue. As
Omaha's nonprofit theater, you're in a unique position to do things a little differently. Why was this a cause? You felt you wanted to elevate the conversation and use your space to do it.
Yeah, so this is part of our community development program where we partner with various nonprofit organizations, and the Kim Foundation approached us, and we thought it was a very worthwhile film and cause for sure.
This is the 7th, so October 7th, that's one event, but then there's something else on the 22nd?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are bringing in Mariel Hemingway as our keynote speaker for our annual luncheon, October 22nd at Embassy La Vista from 11:30 to 1, and she's going to talk about her journey, just talk about her family's experience, what she's experienced, and her family has a very tragic story. They say that certainly her grandfather and sister are the most well known, but that their family has had 7 suicides, and so she talks about their tragic past and history and how she's overcome that and then depression herself to live a more fulfilled and holistic life, as you had said before, but just changing her family's legacy. So
that's remarkable. A powerful story to share, indeed.
Yeah, the KimFoundation.org. How do people register for these events? What's the best way to do that?
Well, for Tuesday's event, they can go to filmstreams.org and buy tickets there, and then they can also buy them at the door that evening. And then for the October 22nd event, you can go online to our website, thekimfoundation.org, and purchase tickets. It's just halfway down the screen on the right side. So, and you can buy a table or tickets.
Also, a great resource, your website.
Yes.
So if you're looking at attending the event, but then you find some other tools there online, that might be a nice accident if that indeed does happen. Brooke, I'm curious about the discussion. As we're talking about Mariel and the story she'll share on the 22nd, what kind of discussion would you anticipate on the 7th at Film Streams for those who attend?
Yeah, so they vary, but it's really up to the audience. We like to get the audience engaged and give them an opportunity to think about the film as an art form, to discuss it as an art form, and then also to ask any questions that they might have. We have some really great experts from the mental health field that will be there, so it is a really great opportunity to have an engaged dialogue, to get some questions asked.
And you guys do that a lot. It's not just mental health illnesses that you're talking about, but there's a lot of other issues that you bring up in discussions throughout Film Streams as well.
Yes,
so that's October 7th. October 22nd is the date of the luncheon, and we'd invite you to connect with the Kim Foundation on Twitter and Facebook. And the website again is thekimfoundation.org, and we'll link it back to our site. So if you want to watch this clip later, in essence, it'll be a YouTube clip. So if you want to share it with someone, if you want to share it on social media, you're certainly welcome to do it. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate your
Good to see
time.
you. So October